Coach Ben here, and you are listening to the Benchcast, your first stop for strength talk and all things bench press. Now kick back, relax, and let us entertain you. And remember, you can meet us on the bench. And today we are talking last man standing event down in Ohio this past weekend. Great event. So I wanted to shoot the shit on that, kind of let you know what was going on with my training, let you know what the event was all about. It's kind of a unique twist. It's not your normal standard meet, not the same typical rules. And we're bringing the show over to the Arnold this year on the main stage. And it's going to turn into, from what it was, a normal kind of powerlifting bench-only meet, and we're just taking it into that last man standing type of event. So I'm really excited to see how that plays out. It actually went really well.
Before we get into that, though, we have another question.
All right, we're taking Instagram live questions. It's been pretty good activity so far. Remember, guys, you follow us on Instagram at Big Benchas. You can interact with us on the podcast.
From no equipment needed, any leg-specific lifts we can use?
He sounds like a raw lifter.
Yeah, we can use to increase the bench.
What was that?
Any leg-specific lifts we can use to increase the bench.
I think just developing your leg strength overall is not a bad idea. I mean, nothing's better than the king of movements, squats. I mean, everything's getting stressed there. As long as you are working on your leg strength, it's going to have good carryover to the bench. I wouldn't say there's anything in specific. I think hip strength is always super important, especially when it comes to bench press. You need super strong hips for pretty much any movement, but especially to benching when you're driving the knees out and you're getting your glutes active. Listen, if you don't have an ass, you're going to struggle with anything you do. You got to have an ass in life. Biggest muscle in the body. Plus, larger ass, keep it planted easy. Pro tip. Anything else coming in?
Nope. Team Big Cheeks. Let's go.
All right. So we went down to the Arnold. Me and the wife, we were taking the trip down this past weekend, last man standing event. And you know how that drive goes. It's like a 9-hour something trip.
At least they didn't turn you away when you first came into Ohio.
Yeah, I know. We've talked a little shit in the Arnold recap about Ohio in general. Not much going on. Listen, I like that place for lifting, but for anything else, there's not much going on. Yeah, a lot of cornfields. It was funny. There's actually some different places. They have TJ's, like some kind of country restaurant. Roosters is like a big bar scene kind of deal over there, I think. And it was funny. It was with the Gorilla Pack after they invited us out to dinner. They were hitting dinner after the event, and they were going to Roosters, but I guess there's multiple Roosters, so we show up at the one that's right next to our hotel thinking that was the one. The place is packed. We literally walked around the place like 3 times trying to find any of them, and they're not going to be hard to miss. I mean, they're big dudes.
Big dudes.
Big dudes, big ladies. And we could not find them. I sent her a message. I was like, is there multiple Roosters? And it turns out we were out the wrong Roosters. But, yeah, they got a different scene over there.
I found out the green turtle was a chain, so that hit me too.
Yeah, I think there's multiples of those. That's an obvious one.
I didn't know.
Green turtle, that's something, is that local to here or what?
I have no idea. Didn't know it was a chain.
Yeah, it's definitely a chain. It's a good place, though. They got those, you know, been to Green Turtle, they got TVs at your booths. That's next level. That's awesome. Because I'm always straining my neck trying to, like, look up at a TV somewhere. So when it's right at your booth, that's awesome.
That's perfect.
But you need to be with people that are watching the game and not talking to you. I'm not into that. So took the trip down, normally like 9 hours, but we stopped first Cracker Barrel. Because if you go any road trip, Cracker Barrel, we don't have that in New York.
Disgusting.
Cracker Barrel?
I hate Cracker Barrel.
What's wrong with you?
I might have had a bad Cracker Barrel experience.
What'd you order?
It's something gross. It was eggs. It was disgusting.
Well, obviously you did something wrong. Because everyone loves Cracker Barrel. Good old country fixins'. I got my regular. I made the mistake last time. Got meatloaf. I gotta stick to what I know, and that is the country fried steak. That gravy, that's the next level. The sawmill gravy, big thick gravy. Get it on that. The grits. Got eggs, and you know how much I hate cheese, but the casserole, hash brown casserole, has cheese in it. But if I just pretend in my head that it's not cheese, it's actually pretty good.
That sounds like a mountain of gross, but
It's great.
I'll let you roll with
it's
it.
great. So stop that Cracker Barrel. Had to make that stop. We actually stopped too on the way to fall in Pennsylvania. I love Pennsylvania. A lot of cool stuff. We stopped at Falling River, and it was kind of like this hiking trail thing. They had this old house that's all renovated, like right on a river. So it was like $10 to get in there, walk the trails. Really cool place. They built like the info center. It's open, so it feels like you're in Jurassic World. It was pretty awesome. Like the house is on the river, so we got a chance to stop there. This is tough making a long drive like that because you cramp up.
Yeah, it's real rough.
You start.
And you don't want to stop and
cramping
like
up.
walk or anything, because then you're gonna delay how long it takes to get there.
Yeah, I didn't mind that too much. I had to stop. We stopped a few times to get gas, and I had to take like a walk around the place. It's tough if you're trying to compete, and especially next day. Usually when we get to the Arnold, I have at least 2-3 days I can kind of unwind before that Sunday. But having it be the next day right after driving, that was pretty brutal.
Especially because I know you always have like a left hip flexor cramp, I believe.
I had issues with that right from the get-go. First set with the empty bar, I was getting some issues. It was bad. I was trying to slam it with the lacrosse ball. Whole thing, really, if you haven't seen my recap, it really kind of turned into a shit show, at least for me personally. Meet was great. Personally for me and my performance, it really started to turn it into a shit show. One of the worst in recent memories. That's because over the past 2 years, all I've hit is PRs every meet.
You've been due for a bad meet.
I was due. I knew I was due for something. But I didn't like come in with that. It felt more like a training session to me because it was like, I'll hit the opener. We're good. I did want to do well, but again, with losing a lot of weight, I actually weighed in 10 pounds lighter than the last meet, which was in July, which is a considerable amount, a couple months. And I got made fun of a little bit for that. I hit 243 on the scales, almost 242. And that, no, not quite. That might be a 242 PR. Got excited. But anyway, I hit 243, 10-pound drop or so from last time. And it just turned into a shit show for me. But I'll kind of go over the rules. We actually developed the rules in the back room before we started. So it was like a real laid-back event. It was sanctioned by XPC, Dan Daig's Federation. But we pretty much were developing the rules in the back room. And things started changing. Originally it was, so like lightweights start 540 on the bar. Heavyweights start 660. This is just for the males I'm talking. And it goes in 25-pound jumps. But we made some adjustments in the back there that you can actually miss a lift twice. You miss twice, you're out pretty much. And you get multiple shots. Say you miss like one lift, you hit it. You miss another, you hit it. You're good still. You have to miss twice in a row. I didn't know how that would play out because it'll take a while to get through a meet like that. And then the other rule was that you can make 40-pound jump. So it spaces it out a little bit. So you could probably take less attempts. And ultimately, the guy that's going to end up finishing last with the highest amount of weight is going to be the winner. So you got to be kind of strategic. You can either take 25-pound jumps and play it small game and play it safe, I'd say. Or you could take those 40-pound jumps. And if you're someone benching 900 pretty comfortably, that's probably a smart thing to do, but you're benching less. And those lightweights are kind of tough to touch. But everyone had a different strategy going in. And it was pretty interesting because I think some came down to like 5 pounds.
Oh, shit.
Just the way it played out. But that's the rule. So you guys following me, last man standing is pretty much a set bar weight, and it just steadily increases. Well, you get some decision, like you could go up 25 or 40, but ultimately some people are going to get knocked out. You can only miss twice in a row, you're out. So I hope everyone's following the rules there. Does that sound right? I'm explaining it right?
Sounds about right.
Last dude left. So you can see, most of them were doing 8-9 attempts.
Top dog
some
wins.
of these guys, 8-9 attempts. And it's very different from your regular meet where you got 3 attempts, you pick your weights. The thing was, in the past at this show, people were bombing out. Last year, it was a lot of bomb outs. And I think it was mostly guys trying to start a little higher than maybe they should. And I know Rich capable a lot more. He probably started for the shirt he was wearing. I think he started pretty light, and he had a really hard time touching. I mean, his second attempt, I was this close to the belt, Elvis, this close to the belt. It was like a 14-second bench for him. It was pretty wild, but I was happy he hit that. He ended up winning that day, a lot of bomb outs. But so Dan was trying to change the game a little bit because this event always kind of gives him a headache because he wants to put on a show.
Yeah,
and you're on the main stage.
You don't want like half people to bomb out, first round.
No, people don't like watching that.
Yeah,
you wouldn't want to go and watch a bunch of people miss weights. So he switched it up this year. This is actually an event that happened long ago too. I don't know specific dates, probably like 2008, 9, 7, something like that. And like some of the original guys benching in that, like Vinny DiZenzo, he was part of that original Last Man Standing crew. But it's a pretty unique event. Brought it back, and that's pretty much the rules. I laid it out for you guys. So to recap kind of what happened, I knew in the heavyweight division, I knew it was going to be hard for me to make a splash there with some of these guys. I mean, I figured in my head it was going to come down to Jason Knobler, Tony Carlino, Rich Putnam. I knew those were going to be like the big three, especially if Rich is hitting, consistent attempts and stuff. Those guys can work up to like 900, no problem. And it ended up being like a race between those three guys. It was really close. It was fun to watch from like a outside perspective because I got out pretty early, so I had time to watch me eat pizza, drink beer. So it was a good show. So it was Rich, Tony, Jason, all these guys capable breezing by 800 pounds, 900-pound benchers. So that was really cool, and it did come down to those three. And then lightweight, really crazy stuff from Jamie, whose PR was like 6'10". He won the lightweights at the Arnie, and he took consistent 25-pound jumps. His PR is 6'10", bar start at 540. So 615, he ends up hitting that. He worked all the way up to 615. He hit that, so it was great. 5-pound PR. All right, so now bar for him would go to 640. So this is a big PR now. He crushed it.
Oh, shit.
He jumps up 665, and we're like, all right, this is getting really nutty.
It's getting nutty.
He crushed it. Just as good. And because the thing with Jamie, he always taking smart, like, small PRs and meets. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if it's just that this really pushed him, and it was either like sink or swim. You're going to miss it or you're going to hit it. So I don't know if it was just that scenario. Usually he's just smart. He'll take a small PR or he'll play a total or something. He's a very strategic lifter. But this event was great for him because it pushed him to like his boundaries, and he hit these lifts. He was on point. It's just one of those days for him. But that was really cool to see. For those that don't know, like Jamie, he's been lifting for a long time. He's one of like my early mentors. I remember going down to his place. He did a seminar, and he charged barely anything for it. It was like a $50 seminar. So I took my friend, went up to Vermont. I lived in Massachusetts at the time, kind of learning this whole scene. And I brought my shirt that I got. It was like an Inzer Phenom single ply, a cheap version. I figured I'd grab that. I didn't know anything. I take it up there. I think this is the first time I ever wearing the thing too. He puts it on me, and we're using like 315. I'm just doing some reps, not even touching with like 315, just trying to learn the shirt. So he's always been very instrumental in what I've been able to do, and he kind of taught me early like what's going on, and I learned a lot of good stuff from him. But it was really cool to see him kill it at that meet and hit such a huge PR. I mean, what's that? A 55
pounds.
That's pretty insane for him. You never see that, at least from him, just because he's a real strategic lifter. And Greg Powell, he drove 15 hours from Texas to be there. I guess his daughter's birthday was the next day. He had to get back, and he wasn't flying. He doesn't meet all the time, so I think he was done with the travel expenses. But he drove 15 hours, and he literally his meet stopped not because he missed lifts, but because he had to start driving home. So it just so happened though, the other guy he was up against was doing really well, and then so it was between these two guys because Jamie, at 690, he was not getting that. It was just a lot of weight for him at that point. But Greg Powell, 800 something pound bencher. So he's going to be in it for a while if he's hitting lifts. And that he was. I mean, only time he was missing was technicalities, which can happen. But he was hitting lifts, and it came down to these two guys. And Greg hits his lift. Then it was like 7:05. He says, I'm out. He's in the back room. Took a lot of attempts, but I think the main reason, he just had to get out of there. He had a 15-hour drive. If this is like around 3:30, 4 o'clock, or maybe a little sooner. This is like 2:30. I don't know, add 15 hours to 2:30 or whatever the hell. I mean, he's getting home at like 2 a.m. I don't even know.
It's like 5 in the morning.
Yes, 5 in the morning. It's crazy. Literally, he just had to be up at like that time Sunday. I don't know if this guy sleeps. He's just crazy. Crazy.
Maybe he had to get back early so he could take a nap.
He's 51, I think.
Oh, shit.
He's in his 50s.
Dude is on point.
He's a whole nother animal, sponsored by Titan. Greg Powell. He won the Arnie 2 years ago with Tony Carlino, heavyweight, lightweight. So he hit 7:05. He said he calls it quits. And then the other guy here, he was having a great day too. He's crushing all his weights. So we're all like, hey, I think Greg even said he's got me. And he stays just to watch the lift. And he doesn't get it. I think he missed the one right before. It was 7:10. That was the 5 pounds. And he just missed it. And then Greg's the winner. He's right at the door. There was no prizes in this event. It was just, for kind of the glory of it. But you're all going to the Arnold. Everyone made their attempts and stuff. That was a really good battle to watch right at the end. If I stayed in a little bit longer, I probably would have been a little more happy. But I was kind of pissed in my performance, but it happens. But great shows across the board from everyone. So it turned out to be a great event, and I think everyone's going to love it at the Arnold. I don't know if you guys watched the live stream on Lexington Extreme, but it'll probably be the same deal at the Arnold. Probably, if it's not live stream from the Arnold staff, then it will be from the Lexington Extreme guys, XPC. But it's going to be a great event. It's going to be a really good show. The whole thing lasted about 3 hours. So Dan actually, he only had an hour in the past to do this bench meet. But now I guess he's got the whole afternoon on Sunday. So it's from like 12 to 5. So it'll probably give 3 hours for the bench show, 2 for the deadlifts, because that's going to roll quicker. So it's going to be a longer event. I'm really excited about it because you can miss twice. So you miss one, you still got another shot. So it's going to be some battles. And he threw in a middleweight division now. So now you got not only heavyweight, lightweight, but heavyweight, middleweight, lightweight. And I'm sneaking right into that middleweight. Sneaking right into that middleweight so I don't have to compete with Big Rich, Tony Carlino, and Jason Knobler, who just destroyed everything. Jason in his Bench Daddy shirts. Those things look crazy. You go to benchdaddy.com. A stiff-ass Bench Daddy, with a shirt material sewn around it. Like everyone's touching high with it, because I guess you can't really ride that thing low, so it's a different kind of groove. But those Bench Daddy shirts, he was using one, another guy was using one, and then Keith Odell, who had crushed it. I don't even remember Keith doing like low 5s, and then he hit 640 at this meet. He killed it. And I guess Jamie actually beat me by 5 pounds. Damn it. I only hit the 660. I'll get into like my performance, but those Bench Daddy shirts, guys, you look at, I think they're only legal in like 6 federations right now, XPC being one of them, but there's something else. I haven't tried them, but they just look like some different kind of beast. The collar doesn't even stay on you. It's like separate from your body. You gotta like ride that thing down in warm-ups. That's a whole different animal. It's pretty cool to see. But yeah, I'm sneaking right into that middleweight division. I don't want to compete with those big boys. If I can avoid it, because I got no chance. If they're hitting lifts, I got no chance. My only chance would be if they're missing some lifts. That's it. And that can happen. But that middleweight division, 242, 220. So I'd have to stay under 242. So I'm watching my weight. I guess I can't, like we were just talking, I was eating Starbucks cookies. So I gotta limit that a little bit. Can't eat as many pies. Can't drink as much beer. So I gotta watch it a little bit. Might have to do a little bit of a cut, but I want to get into that division because I think the only one that really makes me really nervous there is Greg Powell, because I don't think he does 198. I think he does 220. So he's always right under that lightweight margin.
Yep.
But now that 220 is going to be middleweight, I'll be thrown right in with him. And he's very capable of hitting in the 800s, if not more. I can't do that yet. Who knows what I'll be doing in March, but it's going to be a good battle, I think. At least I definitely got a shot, especially if there's some missed lifts in there. Put the pressure on a little bit. Depends if I'm smart with my attempts. Because the bar, middleweight, isn't starting at 660, it's starting at 600. So it's going to be a little bit different twist. So you got lightweight starting 540, middleweight starting 600, heavyweight starting 660. So I no longer have to start 660, I can start 600, which should be pretty easy to swing up there.
I feel like at that weight, it's like the issue is touching rather than being able to bench.
The issue is touching. If you have it, you're going to have to do some shirt switching.
Yeah.
Which I did this meet, and I'll get to that. But you just definitely got to be some shirt switching. And I'm a little nervous, too, to make modifications to my shirt because I don't want to tighten it up so much. Like, I love my shirt, but if I can't cut 600 in it, it'll be an issue. So there's a lot of strategy in there. But we got 5 months to get ready. We'll be on point. But to talk about my performance, I just felt like everything was going wrong. It's just one of those things. My mindset was wrong too. I came in feeling like it was more of a training session than anything. I just wanted to hit. My main goal was just hitting that 660. So I don't think I was in a good place mentally anyway to make a huge run. Because I knew I lost a lot of weight and the shirt wasn't fitting right. Training didn't really go as expected. So things were off from the get-go, especially mentally. But I started coming down, not to make a bunch of bullshit excuses, but to just show you everything's going wrong. Everyone's catching a cold at the gym, and I just so happened to get it right the night before. Didn't even want to eat. I'm just going to bed. Pounded some NyQuil. Ate what I could at the sushi place, and I just went to bed. And it was, like the start of a cold. It's always the shittiest of it. And then you're just kind of fighting a runny nose. But I started getting that Friday. Come in Saturday. Once the adrenaline's getting going, you're good. Weight felt good, but in the warm-up room, we were just talking about that. You may be wondering why the hell I had the Mark Bell Power Shoe up here. But you can see, guys, I don't know if you can see.
Oh, they can see.
If you can see that in the video, if you guys are watching video here, look at the bottom of these things. I had these for 3 years. And the problem was, like most meets, I'm not getting traction in the back room, which can really throw you off. Because I get my feet out wide, and if it's just like regular gym flooring, I'm slipping everywhere. And if you don't have a good cover to that bench with traction, I'm slipping everywhere. So I had that whole problem, and it changes the game when you can't get your feet where you want. And you can't create that traction. It's mostly you using your upper body. So that always throws me off. So what I'm doing ahead of time now, I'm planning for this. I'm cutting up a yoga mat into 3 sections. 2 for my feet, 1 for my traps. I tell you, that's a game changer. Because every time, the warm-up benches, they are subpar. The bars themselves, subpar. Knurlings ran out. But then you get to the actual stage, the actual meat bench, and it's beautiful. But then it's like you've already did 6-7 attempts. Upper body, you can't get your feet where you want, sliding everywhere, pushing vertically. It changes the game. You can't expect. So my first attempt, 660. I go out there, had the damnest time just kind of where to place my feet. Also, this was a little bit of a problem at the HQ. We got a pretty elevated bench. So I think I get a little lax there with tucking my feet. But they got me for the butt up. That never happens. Because, guys, I always preach to you pushing horizontally, you can control that hip position. But it felt like just from what was translating from the back room, I couldn't push horizontally because I was afraid my feet were going to slip out. And it caused me to probably lift more vertically than anything. And that's when your hips come up, guys. You have a hip up problem, usually it's because you're pushing vertically through the floor and not horizontally back. Because if you push back, you can very easily control your hip position. But if you're trying to thrust your chest up, oftentimes in multiply, that whole chest up, drive your chest up cue is used. However, when most lifters do that, they're pushing through the floor to elevate everything, and that's when you run into issues with your butt up. And there's only so far you can tuck your feet, guys, or go wide. All right, if you push horizontally and you truly get that down, you're thinking about driving your chest back towards the bar rather than elevating the chest. You're driving that chest back into the bar, keeping your position that you set in your setup. So that's the big difference there. But they got me. They got me for that ass. But I'll show you these shoes. 3 years old. Man, I got these when I was training my basement back in Massachusetts. Great shoe. Mark Belt power shoe, wide toe box. But you can see I sprayed all this Loctite shit on there. Big Rich always has a spray with him. You know, thank God for that. I sprayed my shirt. I sprayed this. But you can see the stick on this thing. I kept spraying it, and I was picking up everything off the ground. This thing's disgusting. And then the fibers of the rug are sticking to it. Guys, you see this? All the little holes are filled in. I got nothing. I got nothing on my feet. But anyways, great shoe. And immediately after, I'm game planning in my head. I need a yoga mat to cut up. I need new shoes.
I know you were lucky enough to go on the new release of the Mark Bell Power Shoe.
Yeah, so that's like right immediately. Thank God for Adam Bell from our team. Shout out to Adam Bell in Texas. He saved my ass with that one, really. So I'm chatting with him. He's saying good luck and everything. We're starting to chat. He's telling me like that power shoe's coming out, and I'm like really October 1st, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm gonna wait up till midnight and try to find this sucker. So that's what I do. I just happen to be awake still Monday night. 12 o'clock comes around. I go on a Reebok website, and I think only Jesse Burdick posted about it.
Yeah,
which is crazy. Jesse Burdick posted about it that they're gonna do a release on Reebok. I'm at 12:30 at night. I'm on there. I'm looking around. I cannot find the shoe. I just cannot find it. I don't even know if it was uploaded yet. But they released it in the morning. So I go on our app or Facebook, and he posted for our team. Adam did the actual link to Reebok. So he saved my ass with that one because I didn't see it posted. I was just going to be like, oh, hell with it.
Maybe it was probably 12 California time.
Oh, that's how they get you. That's true. That makes sense. So it's like 7 in the morning, so it's been 4 hours by now. He posts the link. I jump on there. I'm like, I have to get them now. I know these suckers are probably going to sell out. I didn't know it was like a whole limited time deal. I thought they were going to stock enough to actually, sell enough. But again, I guess by 12, the things were gone. So I got lucky with that. But you got to be like a sniper on that stuff. I snuck right in. I think they're coming in today. But I'm pumped because these things are worn out. Great shoe, though, guys. Great shoe. If you're looking for a great power shoe, these Reebok CrossFit Light TRs, whatever, the Mark Bell power shoe, honestly, really great shoe. And I've worn these for 3 years now. So if you can snake on that deal, try to get one of those. I don't know why they just don't make more. But the wide toe box is key. You ever wear one of these?
No, never.
No?
Yep.
Yeah, you got a good one in Ohio, too. You showed me.
Yeah, I got
traction.
Some Nike Metcons. But I got them for $30.
Yeah, and they're flat.
Yeah, now they're like 108.
They're flat.
They're flat.
They're flexy, so you can open and expand a little bit of your toes.
They got a nice big toe box. And the material on the side stretches out, so you don't have to worry about anything tearing or anything.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, guys, if you can try to get your hands on those, how much do those go for?
Right now they're like 180.
180?
But I got them for like $30.
All right. We just had the batteries conk out on our mic here, so I don't know exactly when they conked out, but they conked out.
We'll figure it out. They'll be audio the whole way through. But just
just to recap real quick, we're talking about these Mark Bell power shoes, how you want to snake onto that deal. Great shoe. And Elvis wears Nike Metcons.
Yep, you can find them as Nike grips, whatever you can get them as.
But those are great shoes, too. I just looking at them. You need good grip to your shoe. That's really important. That's why I'm always big on having lifters not lift barefoot. Not barefoot, but not in socks for sure. I don't like seeing that because the socks slide. I always like the flat, grippy shoe, wide toe box, something you can expand into with your feet. But that looked like you had good stretchy material on those shoes. But yeah, I snuck on the deal Monday, 7 a.m. Snuck on to get these Mark Bell power shoes, and they were sold out by 12. But I guess you got to follow Jesse Burke just to find out when the hell these shoes are coming out. They rarely release them. I don't know why you wouldn't just make more. People are buying them. That's sales. That's business 101. You supply and demand. I learned that in economics. So, snuck onto that deal. So where were we? We were talking about Arnie.
Got the Arnie.
Sorry.
Got the shoes.
Last man standing. Had the difficulty with the shoes. Was slipping a lot. So ordered new shoes. I'm going to plan ahead. Bring yoga mats next time for that traction because it does change the game. You need to be able to create traction in the warm-up room. You can't expect to take 6-7 attempts back there suboptimally and then transfer that over to a platform. This is not going to happen. So first lift, good lift. Felt great. I felt strong. All my raw lifts were up. All training cycle went really well. I hit 765.2 to a one board. Different shirt though. But that went great.
Are these your shoes right now?
We got FedEx coming in. We might get shoes, guys. This is awesome.
Shit.
Live on the Benchcast.
Let's see if he actually comes on the stuff.
So I'll keep talking. You go grab my shoes. So we got FedEx coming live on the Benchcast. Only on the Benchcast you get live deliveries. Awesome.
Benarachus.
What do we got? What do we got?
It's up to you, Doug.
Reebok International. All right, guys. So I'm about to show you these shoes. What timing, huh? Live on the Benchcast. Only live on the Benchcast does this shit happen. All right. So right now we are opening up the Mark Bell Power Shoe. Shit only happens on the Benchcast. Alright, show and tell, guys. Now for design, I'm not that into the design. Looks like the same bottoms. I always smell everything when I get them in. Looks like the same bottoms, guys.
Same bottoms.
Same bottoms here.
Do you get a bigger size?
It is 9.5. Should be around the same.
Looks a little bigger.
I think this is just worn out more. Looks like the same design for the most part. I'm not the biggest fan of the outside. It almost looks like some kind of snakeskin thing. But everything looks pretty much the same. Not too much differences here. It was a great shoe. They took out the word CrossFit. That's pretty important. But yeah, it looks like the exact same shoe almost. But I do like the black. It's not the leather, but real good shoe here, guys. So I'm pumped. At least I got my traction back.
Yeah.
So, pumped to use those. Live delivery on the Benchcast. That's awesome. We were just talking about that.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
And these are the Nike Metcons. Got that nice.
So we show that Nike
grippy rubber on
Metcon
the
up
bottom.
there. This is the one Elvis was talking about, grippy bottom. Now I like how this is woven.
Oh
There's
yeah.
different weaves here, because now, like compared to this, where you just have these bumps. Sure, it can give you some traction, but a little bit slippy. These, I like the weaves because now you're catching surface here. So this is actually great. And I love, look at this heel support here. I like this a lot.
It's nice and flat otherwise.
Flat.
Yeah.
Flat. Important. Not as much when you're benching, definitely when you're deadlifting.
Yeah, definitely.
For the
deadlifted.
leverages. I mean, benching, sometimes the heel actually is beneficial so you can get your feet down better. But this is a great shoe too, guys. You look into the Nike Metcons here. Are they all flat like that?
They're all flat. They're like the
They're all
Nike
flat.
CrossFit shoe. It's phenomenal.
So that's one to check out too. But have a good footwear, especially for benching. I'd say the most important thing out of anything is traction. You got to have something that's going to give you some type of grip, more than anything. More than having your toes spread, more than having some kind of super supportive heel or some kind of boot supporting. I think just traction with anything you're wearing is going to be critical.
It's all about
critical.
Force transfer.
Yes.
And if you're slipping, you're losing force.
Yes. Yeah, you're relying on you're relying on the traction of both the pad and your feet, because you have to work in a horizontal plane, which you're relying on that friction. If you don't have the friction, then you're very limited with what you can do. So I was having that issue. That's why they got me for butt up. I was definitely pushing more vertical than anything. trying to reach more than anything because I was afraid my foot was going to slip out, so they got me on that. Fair enough. So now it's, grind time. Got to make a lift, right? But I knew coming back, I'm not going to come into Ohio and not hit a lift. So I go back there. The thing was, too, I started feeling my shirt start to tear a little bit. Some of those fibers starting to rip. Now, that happens, all right? But so the first lift, I wasn't too concerned about it. Sometimes you hear those little tears. But going to my second lift, I nail it. It felt perfect. There's no sticking points. It just came right up. But I felt that shirt start ripping again. My butt was down. I think I got one red. One guy just didn't think my butt was down. But I had those struggles throughout the day. Really tucked my feet. I'm actually on like the safeties with my feet. It was crazy. But hit that lift. Got my 660 in. All right, cool. But I'm feeling that rip in my shirt, so I'm a little concerned. So I'm like, all right, I'll hit my 685. That should go up. Last one crushed it. Go up there. I'm coming down. And I love all Jamie's crew. They're great. They always help me every meet. I'm super appreciative. So I'm not sure if this is something a fault on me, but I was definitely on my left side. This is one of a newer guys that I've worked with Jamie's crew. The other ones I've known and had hand me off, but on the left side I was getting brought out quite a bit. So each time I'd have to let it settle and let that weight kind of drift back. So it was kind of that helicopter, but I was patient with it. I'm not going to say that affected me because I took my time and settled it and stuff, but I was getting brought out a little bit. That one, the third one was a lot better, but I still had to kind of adjust it a bit. What's that? Pause, now we're back. All right, so I got that bar settled, come down, hitting the right groove, and I'm feeling that son of a bitch tearing again. Shirt's starting to tear in the left, and it's throwing me off. And I just didn't hit the bar path back right. I just couldn't get the lock on the right side for whatever reason. Jamie said something like my left side was off a little bit and my right wasn't. It was compensating, whatever the case may be. But so now I'm thinking, well, shit, I'm kind of mentally out of it at this point. My shirt's like ripped. I'm thinking in my head, this isn't even worth it at this point because if I go through and the whole thing just tears on me, I potentially could fall on that side. Hurt my pec, what if this and that happens? So I'm thinking about that stuff. I'm like, I'll play it safe. I'm just going to switch shirts and see what the hell happens. My super katana wasn't ready to use. I couldn't even touch 760 in training. I used it once. So it still needed a little bit of time to break in for that type of weight. I don't think I was going to plan on jumping up to another weight. So instead of 685, like taking that 7, whatever it may be, 40-pound jump, but you're not going to allow that. I'll have to retake it. So I threw on the super katana. I used that one time at Rich's place. We jacked that thing up. We ripped the arms up. We got the armpits in. Nothing was jacked up in the collar. So I could touch with that weight. I hit it to a one board. So we made sure it was loose enough or jacked up enough here that I could touch it. And it was a son of a bitch getting it down. We knew it was going to be a crazy ride with only 685. But I got it down. I just wasn't very patient at the very end. Just dumped out of groove. It's a little bit different than the SDP. Didn't have enough on it coming back. Didn't get that lift, so that was the end of my day. But you see, there's a multitude of things that just weren't going my way. And all will be, which will be corrected for the Arnold. And all things that, like I tell my team, you got to prepare for the unexpected. Control the uncontrollable, if you will. So there's nothing you can do about a warm-up room. There's only so much you can do, but try to control that stuff. Always think ahead, plan ahead. Plan for circumstances not to be perfect, and then you will be well prepared. I was not as well prepared as I could have been. But we're on to March, and I think I got a really good shot at the middleweights. Great event, like I said. Last man standing. Forces everyone to start lighter, hit attempts. It's going to be a real hell of a show because you're going to see guys battling it out. The one thing I would like to see is a real good push from commentary in terms of who's competing and what and trying to pit people together. because it starts to come together at the end. But you could definitely glue it with good commentary and make it a good battle.
That'd be huge.
So it's really going to come down to that for the show, because you know what's going on kind of as a lifter, but if you're just out there in the crowd, you don't know who's heavyweight, who's middleweight, unless they have something shown, like pitting together. But it really depends on how they display graphics, how they commentate it and stuff. But it can be really one hell of a show. It always has been in the past. So, I think it's going to be a good battle between Jason Rich and Tony again, the heavyweight. Probably some guys in the mix there too. Anything can happen on a big stage. Middleweights, I don't think I got a good shot at this one. Greg Powell's in there. Some other guys that are excellent. And then lightweights, I'm sure, Jamie will be battling it out. He'll probably be battling it out with Keith too. Keith coming in lightweight. I'm not sure if he's under 198 or he's under 220. But if he comes in 198, I can see a really good battle there. But it's going to be a fun show. And, excited to do that for you guys. See that. You can make it down to Ohio. That'd be really awesome. We'll be launching shirts, as always, like we did last year. And this year's gimmick, I'm going red, white, blue beard. So it's going to be the United States flag of America. Going to be red, white, blue. They have colored eye black now, which was new to me. So I'm going to do like some kind of red-black mixture, muddy, like ripped in, kind of like a bleeding face type of deal. It's going to look real wild. And then I'm going to get a custom Stone Cold Steve Austin bandana. So it's really going to come together. It's going to be good for March. All right, guys. We got anything coming in from the Instagram? We're all good there?
No, all good. I think we're wrapped up.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. That's my recap this past weekend Last Man Standing event. Was a really great time. I want to say thanks to Dan Dagg. I don't know if you listen to this or not, but we do really appreciate, that was a free event, so he hosted all that for free, and he stocked pizza and beer. Granted, it was Bud Light, but he made up for it with good whiskey. Had some Jameson and stuff too. So I just can't drink the light beer anymore after IPAs and stouts and good shit. I can't do a Bud Light. I just can't do it. It's like drinking shit water. I just can't do it anymore. I drank one of them. I was like, I think I'm done. Switched over to the Jameson. But, he stocked all that out of his pocket. And, all to his staff there, judging all that. Big thanks to them. And he has a really nice gym. And I guess the next day, Coker and Vogelpol were over there squatting. So I know Rich stayed around there to help spot and stuff because they went from Westside over to Lexington recently. So he had them over there. They weren't at the event, but I'm sure they put on a clinic squatting the next day. But a great event. Super excited to bring it to the Arnie. And, we'll recap it then for you guys too. Appreciate you listening. You can find us on at Big Benchas. We got a new website out, bigbenchas.com. Make sure you check that out. It's very friendly for ordering apparel. Now, when you order apparel, it is going to come in quick. All right, doesn't matter where you are. That's the main thing I wanted to work on is getting you your stuff quickly. So all that apparel is going to ship out real quick for you guys. We got some new baseball tees and stuff that look really awesome, new beanies. And I'm slowly adding some stuff to the store. So make sure you go to the store page, you check that out. We got some new bench clinics coming out if you're in the New York area. Opportunities to come learn at our bench clinics. And I think that's all I want to mention. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube too, guys. All that content's up there. People been saying it's changing the way they're benching. These videos coming out. We got a lot of good stuff in the works. All right, and I'm excited to bring it to you. All right, and you can follow Small Arm, Leg Strong, Elvis, the man behind the scene, the videos, puts all this stuff together. Everyone loves the bloopers. You get more of the bloopers.
Bloopers are phenomenal.
Everyone loves when you post the blooper
Got
ones.
some real quality ones.
Splice those together. Those are awesome. Everyone loves those. All right, guys. Appreciate listening. You've been listening to the Benchas. Hey guys, did you know about our online coaching program? We are helping lifters get stronger all across the world. If our videos helped you, imagine what we can do together with specialized one-on-one attention. Don't just take it from me. Ask someone like John Ruel, who hit a 30-pound PR on his bench in just 6 weeks, breaking into the 400-pound club. Or Jack from Australia, who finally hit a long-awaited squat PR after 2 years of stalled progress. Joan, who's an IPF represented lifter from South Africa, who is continuing to hit PRs every training cycle, and she is at her strongest yet. These are all real success stories that our lifters experience on a regular basis. I want you to be next. Email me today, coachben@bigbenchas.com, to get started.